Bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Welcome
Not your
back.
best, Collinsworth. Not your best. You kind of just felt like you just kind of rose up. It wasn't a
Yeah,
slide.
it's getting a little tough, because while I'm producing and also
Yeah.
bringing us in, it can be tough. But welcome everyone to another edition of the Blue Review. As you see, we got an exciting edition as our friend Clint Pasillas joins the real FRG, as you know him on Twitter. You can find all his socials, all his stuff, what he does there down below. But of course, I just want to ask Clint, how you doing, man? It's been a while since we've seen you, and now the Dodgers are hot. Things are looking good in La La Land.
Yeah, we're feeling good. I'm feeling good this morning. The coffee is flowing freely. The Dodgers are playing well, trying to go for their second sweep in a row. So Dodgers do good, me do good. That's where we're at right now, boys.
I love how you talk about it too. Me do good, and Parker puts on their Shminjuries. I mean, it's cohesion between the two of you.
We got that vibe this morning. We're together there. Greg, it's great to have you back. Of course, we're just here. As everyone knows, we're here every day, 9:30, 9:55, talking Dodgers. But we do so because of our friends at LAX. So I just want to remind everyone that here at the Blue Review, we're presented by our friends, Los Angeles International Airport. So you can you can find out more at flylax.com/transforming LAX. Our friends over there are just changing the travel experience, reducing traffic, saving guests time. And I keep talking about it. LA 28, it's around the corner. There's going to be a lot of changes. So stay tuned on the Blue Review as we kind of update you on those and show you around and whatnot. So let's get right into this, guys. The Dodgers are handling business. They look like the first half Dodgers. This has been exciting to watch. I mean, I even brought out the hat I haven't brought out since the first half. Clint, what did you see from Stone and just guys like Will Smith who had big performances yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, those are two things you could really chew on. Stone got a start that he absolutely needed. I like taking him out after 5. You feel good. They needed to burn through Landon Knack in that situation, so let him get his first career save on a 4 inning job there. A perfect game. You had a little bit of pop. You had some manufactured runs in that game, but Stone, I really, really liked that bounce back because I think it was the last 6 starts or something like that, 6 or 7 starts, 6.91 ERA. It had been rough, kind of pitching his way off of a postseason roster, let alone the postseason rotation. So this was big as we get into the nitty gritty of the dog days of summer. And then Will Smith. Greg, I want to know what you think about Big Willie style because we were talking just before hitting live here. It's been a struggle. Is this a flash in the pan or is this the real deal? I lean more the former than the latter, but where are you at with Willie?
You're leaning more towards the flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it can go either way. I'm hoping that it's not a flash in the pan because he was look, let's be honest. He's in a position where that is very, very hard to play. And at the same time, catchers typically towards the end of the season and towards the middle part of the season, they tend to slow down. That's a very tough on your body. It's just very hard to be a catcher day in and day out. And he plays consistently behind the plate. He doesn't have the option to go, hey, let's give him some rest time behind the plate, make him a DH. You don't have that option that other teams have because Shohei is your DH and that's every single day. So I hope that it's not so much that because he did things that we hadn't been seeing for a little while. He hit the home run, which was an inside pitch that he turned on. That's when he's going well. He turns on those pitches. And he also got a double down the line, again, turning on a pitch that he hadn't been turning on recently. And the little flare shot to get him 3 hits. I do wonder if it's just because he hits the Brewers well. But at the same time, I hope that it's the start of things to come and that he's just kind of feeling things. Because for the most part, Clint, he walked twice the other day. That means he's being more patient at the plate, that he's not just swinging wildly at pitches that are off the plate. He's waiting for a pitch inside the zone. And the fact that he was getting to 3-2 counts, he was turning on those pitches. I'm seeing things out of him that I hope is a sign of things to come.
No, that's a great point there because when he's wrong, he does expand the zone. He can get beat on that up and away fastball a whole lot. I like what you said there, getting the bat head out in front. He's been beat a lot by fastballs as well. I've been arguing, catchers do get tired. They get run down. As you said, the bat speed has looked slower. I almost wonder, it's like should he maybe bring it down an ounce or 2 on the bat or something like that, just to kind of, keep the line moving, get in a better position to start, swinging a better bat again, get that bat head out, getting using the pull side again. But I want to see a few more games of this before I buy all the way in. But it's a hell of a good start. If it takes Miller Park to get him going, cool. Sorry, American Family Field. I don't want to get sued or whatever, but it's always Miller Park. But hey, two good storylines.
Yeah, no, to go back to what you started off with too, and thank you, Parker, for bringing up Gavin Stone. I thought that was a really, really important start for Gavin Stone. I don't know where Noah came from. I think I looked on the chat and there's Noah Ortega, and it just popped into my head. So what's up, Noah? Either way, so I thought it was important for Gavin to have that start because he had been bad ever since that outing that he went 9 full. He had been at the end of June. He hadn't been pitching well, giving up at least 4 runs pretty much for quite some time. And I mean, it helped that they got a big lead for him. They were able to get him those 7 runs. That was huge for him. But at the same time, he wiggled out of some things. It was just nice to see that he was throwing a different. His pitch mix was looking good. He had a better velocity. There's a lot of things that I saw from him, but for the most part, that was super important for him to be able to get back on track because it was looking like if he had a bad outing again, we're going to come on here today and be like, maybe it's time for an IL stint. Honestly.
Yeah. No, it was definitely reaching that territory. And, so far, this series has given Dodgers fans what they wanted. A good Kershaw start, his best start of the 2024 season. Stone's best start in a month and a half. And then tonight, the big one, Butane, who now has that renewed importance with River Ryan on the shelf until possibly even 2026. What do you want to see from Buehler as I apparently take over your show? My bad.
No, you're going to ask the questions. I'm going to answer. I love this. It's usually Parker asking me the questions, but we're bringing you on as a guest. What do you think? And then I'll just kind of play off you. It's more important that way.
That's fair. And Parker, I'm assuming you were already going to go Buehler because again, the synergy, we got that going right now.
Exactly.
See, this is just so everyone's aware. Clint's going on vacation for a little bit, so he's trying to get all of his hosting duties of the Dodgers out in this year right here on ESPN LA.
I'm dropping my takes and getting my questions out and all that kind of stuff. Don't
Full
forget.
send.
12 o'clock noon, Dodger territory. I'll be live with Alana Rizzo. Steven Nelson joins us before hitting the booth in the finale there in Milwaukee. Buehler, I need to see something out of Walker. This is his runway to pitch himself back into the playoff picture, into maybe a 2025 picture, because we could be in the final days of Walker Buehler in a Dodger uniform. Luckily, that last start that he had at AAA, he showed something, but you need to see 4, 5, 6 strong. You need to see something resembling maybe 2020 Butane, 19, 21. Even we'll take 22 at this point before the elbow gave on him. But you need something out of Walker, I think, for us, but also for his own mentals.
Oh yeah, for his mentals for sure. If he is the same Walker that we saw earlier in the season, then that's probably going to be the end of Walker Buehler for us as Dodger fans. I mean, maybe they give him another start or two, but for the most part, he wouldn't be back in 2025. I don't expect him back in 2025 as of right now. So, but if he really did go to Florida and figure something out, which would really surprise me. I would really be kind of just shocked that that's actually happened. But if he looks anywhere close to it, and you have an option with that 4th starter or possibly even 3rd if Yamamoto doesn't come back between Kershaw and Buehler, that would really, really help moving forward. We can start looking into this season like, hey, we're in a really good space right now when that wasn't the case for quite some time. Yeah. So if Walker comes out and looks close to the Butane that we actually know, I don't expect him to throw 98 miles an hour, but I expect him to hit his spots and be a pitcher that can get through things, get 2 on, but get out of it. Those are the things that are important to me.
I think the operative word there is be a pitcher. He's at times in his career has been a thrower, at times has learned to be a pitcher. You're not going to have that 98 in the back pocket anymore. If you could live comfortably in the 93 to 95 with some movement and dot your spots, he's going to be okay. And then all of a sudden you open up a lot of optionality, like the team loves to say, a lot of opportunity when you're getting into that postseason rotation, kind of lining some things up. If Kershaw's good, if Stone's good, Glasnow is going to be in there. They traded for Jack Flaherty for a reason. And then there's the Yamamoto factor. All of a sudden we feel like the last 2 months were just meaningless or whatever, where everything was falling apart. I'm going to say it like I do on every show I get on. Our pets' heads were falling off, but now people are
Pets'
putting
heads.
them back again, taping the heads back on. Pretty birdie. We're feeling a lot better.
We're going Dumb and Dumber references here.
Yes,
I like
sir.
it.
Why not?
That was very well done. But yeah, you're right. These last 2 months they've been frustrating because we're not looking at the actual Dodger team over those last 2 months. Yeah. We're looking at a bunch of dudes that were just thrown in there willy-nilly. And like we had guys like Andy Pages being the cleanup hitter for quite some time, where like that just doesn't really work out. Now, ever since he moved him back down to 7, 8, 9, he's hitting again. And that's really nice to see. But as we just saw with Amed Rosario being DFA'd, Andy Pages is probably the next guy to be dropped down when everybody starts coming up. I just don't see the space for him on the roster, even though he is hitting well. And he did have that home run last night, which was nice to see him show a little pop again because he hadn't had one since June. But what do you see happening? Muncy coming back, Edman coming back, Brazier coming back, possibly Gratterall at some point. There's a bunch of guys that are going to start coming back, and it's off that 60-day IL. So you have to make spots on the 40-man roster and on the 26-man roster. And we've had this conversation for quite some time. We did a little bit yesterday and before. It looks kind of like it's going to be Hayward, Nick Ahmed, or Kevin Kiermaier, and possibly even two of those three. What are you seeing, and what do you kind of see that shaking out? See, I get to ask the questions here, too.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, Greg. We knew this was coming for this team. There was going to be a lot of tough conversations, tough questions coming up for the organization. Some guys that have just kind of popped up and been around, your Ahmed Kiermaier types, guys that have been around for quite some time, your Groves, your Nacks, your Braziers and what have you. So I kind of put it in order because tonight you're getting Walker Buehler back. So we'll look at that first. That one's easy. That's Landon Knack. That's pretty much I think a straight up exchange there. You need to eventually, they're getting Ryan Brazier back this weekend. We don't need to dive in too much to that, but the big ones is getting the lineup back in order, getting Muncy, who this team has desperately missed over the last 3+ months. I feel like that's got to be Nick Ahmed. I think the only reason they kept Nick Ahmed around is just because you want that backup infielder. You want that backup shortstop, somebody who could also play a little bit of third and all that. They wanted him around. He's an elite glove. You keep him around as long as you can until you get Muncy back, and that's a straight-up exchange. You got your 40-man spot, you got your 20-man, 26-man spot there. And then that's where it gets really tough when you're talking about Tommy Edman, because there's three options really, or three names. One of them could be optioned if we're just looking at active rosters, so they still need to be creative. But I don't know what their plan is with Andy Pages. And I kind of got thrown. We were talking about this before hitting the button. I got thrown. I got very thrown by the Amed Rosario thing. I thought that was going to be like very clearly Pages option, go get some more playing time. But is it going to be Kiermaier or Hayward? I think it's going to be Kiermaier for Tommy Edman, just because of Hayward's importance to that clubhouse. He's Freddie's guy and all that kind of stuff. I think it just plays more importantly than Kevin Kiermaier, who's been around for 2 weeks, and he's a Gold Glove Award winner, but so is, Jason Hayward. Do you agree, disagree? Where are you at with that outfield? It's really the outfield spot, I think, where the question is.
Yeah, it's very much the outfield spot. It's very difficult to kind of try to put this together because I just don't know what Andrew Friedman's going to do. It's a very tough choice. It really comes down to, are you looking for the defense or are you looking for the offense? Because Kevin Kiermaier is obviously a net zero when it comes to his offensive abilities. Yeah. He does do something that I think is very important for the postseason, though, and having somebody be able to come off the bench and actually drop down a bunt. If you have nobody out and you're first and second, you're down by one, and being able to drop down a bunt, nobody else on this roster can do it. And Kevin Kiermaier is one of the best in baseball right now. I think he has 7 stacked bunts, and that's just I think it's tied for the most in all of baseball, or right around there. So being able to do something like that, and also we always remember what happened last year with James Outman in center field. He let a ball go over his head that Kevin Kiermaier is not going to, and it changed the entire series. So I don't think that I agree with you. I don't think Hayward goes anywhere because of what he means to the clubhouse, his veteran presence, the fact that he can come off the bench and has pop off the bench, which you really need that, especially in the postseason. And like you mentioned, he is Freddie's best friend. So that's probably not going to happen. But I just don't know how they're going to do it because even though Kevin Kiermaier has not been somebody that's been around very long, he does the little things, and he does the little things so well that I just don't know if the Dodgers will be willing to let that go. I feel like that was a move that was looking towards the postseason and a defensive thing. So they might find some other strategic way to do this, but and again, Mookie Betts, and you talk about Nick Ahmed. Mookie Betts moved to right field because he said Rojas and Ahmed have shortstop on lock.
Yeah.
Ahmed is a 2-time Gold Glove shortstop, and Rojas is probably your everyday shortstop, but still having that ability. I don't know what they're going to do. It's very, very tough, man.
And the other good thing is too, Tommy Edman can also play shortstop at an elite level. They say. I have not watched a whole lot of Tommy Edman at shortstop, so we'll take what they say, at face value. So we need a tiebreaker here. It sounds like we need Parker to tell us.
Yeah, Parker.
What's going to be the move? Is it going to be Kiermaier on that roster, or is it going to be Hayward on the roster?
I like the point that you made about who's been with this roster before and just the vibes. I mean, Kevin Kiermaier he's a great dude. I've followed some of his career there over with the Blue Jays, and he's always brought good energy and, of course, that veteran presence. But somebody, when it comes to Dodgers playoff baseball, somebody who's been there with Doc and been there with those guys, I like Hayward. I see him staying. But honestly, this is a good problem to have this abundance amount of options. I mean, we were struggling. Dodgers have missed more time to the injury reserve and more just, games than anyone in the league. So now that you can say you have options, it's great. I just love seeing that the Dodgers are playing well.
It feels very nice to have some bodies back.
Yeah, it does. And also, like Kiermaier, I really don't think they get rid of Kiermaier until they actually see what Tommy Edman looks like in center field. He's obviously a good center fielder. Like the Cardinals were going to have him be the everyday center fielder, but he just didn't make it onto he was hurt and never made it onto the roster. But that was where he was supposed to be. I really do believe that they want to see him there if he can make those catches, because Kiermaier's already made some great plays out there. Yeah. So it's not about if you look at the lineup 1 through 9, and when you get Edman back and when you get Muncy back, and then all of a sudden it all starts to build out, and Lux is hitting well, and Kike's been hitting well because he finally figured out that, I need glasses.
Or you need to see the ball to hit the ball.
You get one glass and one clear glass. It's very strange how that's all working out. But you need glasses to see the ball. Is just shocking to me that he's been around this long. But he's playing so well now that it really is going to make a difference on what's going to happen there. So I can't believe that they get rid of Kiermaier this fast. I really don't see it.
I mean, that's fair. The importance of an elite defender late in games, and somebody who, like you said, can play the game the right way, can maybe get a bunt down in a tough situation where I don't know how many other people I trust off the bench. Maybe Pages is the odd man out, and maybe it ends up being, Hayward and Kiermaier on the bench, and they get a little creative, opening that 40-man spot, and it'd be somebody like we were talking before the show, Michael Peterson. Like, what is his future going to look like with the team? I don't even know if they're allowed to activate like Nick Frasso or Kyle Hurt and put them on the major league 60-day IL. So I'm glad we don't get paid to make I would like to get paid to make those decisions, but I'm glad we don't have to make those decisions for this organization.
Yeah, no, it's really going to be interesting. I don't envy those guys having to make these decisions because you're gonna screw over somebody. We were talking about it before, I think, too, with when it comes to Ahmed Rosario. You were shocked by it. I was shocked by it, but that he's going to go somewhere and just destroy everybody. Like, he's just going to come here and be like Dodger killer. He's going to get some big hit against the Dodgers that knocks him out or whatever it happens to be. It's going to be very, very frustrating.
He's going to look real good in that Padres lineup, probably.
Yeah. No, don't even put it out into the world like that. That's going to be so annoying. But also, can we talk just real fast about Mookie Betts? I know that it's obviously that he is one of the best players in baseball, but what he does to this lineup, when you watch Mookie in the lineup, doesn't it just make you feel like, oh my God, this is just so much. You just feel much more at ease watching them. You just feel better because like that guy is going to do something. The play that he made, not last night, the night before, when that, I forgot who it was, hit a double off the wall, but it wasn't a double because he played it perfectly and held it to a single. That's just not something that happens. If that's Pages in right field, that's a double for sure, and possibly even a triple. So having him out there and in right field, how much better does it feel seeing him there?
Yeah, it's like dad came home and all of a sudden you feel safe, you feel comfortable at home. The ghost, the boogeyman can't get you anymore. This team desperately missed Mookie Betts. He is the spark plug at the top of the lineup, but also what he can do as a general in the outfield. Yeah, he's not the center fielder, but everybody knows you listen to Mookie, and all of a sudden you add Mookie out there, Teoscar Hernandez, what he's done. You have a competent looking outfield offense, but it feels right to have Mookie back in the outfield again, back in right field. Something I was complaining about before everybody started to get on the whole move Mookie back to the outfield idea. But it makes you feel good. It makes you feel right, and it also makes you feel like in a couple of months, maybe he could make good on that promise of bringing home some rings for LA.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, so it was really nice. I just love seeing Mookie back in the lineup. Yeah. And it's not, and even it's the defense. He obviously had the home run the other night, but he also had just these little singles, great at bats that just gives you go ahead.
Yeah, that one in on Monday's game where he poked it over second base, knowing the situation, knowing you want that run, bring in Shohei. By the way, how do you like, now that we're actually seeing it, with our eyes, how do you like Shohei Mookie in the lineup as opposed to it being the other way?
So I've always thought that Mookie was a guy that has to be every stat that I've ever seen from Mookie. When he's the leadoff, he's just a better hitter overall. He obviously can play 2, 3, whatever you want him to at. You could probably even put Freddie in the one spot and move it all around, and those three would work out no matter what. But Mookie had always been very, very good at the one spot. How do you take Shohei out of that leadoff spot, though? I just don't think you can, and him being in the 2 spot just makes perfect sense. And I don't see it changing anytime soon.
And I think it's just this year. I think that's the important thing. It's like there's no saying that he can't go back into that leadoff role, even back to second base or something next year. But it's about what made the team better this year, and it feels a lot better doing the left, right, all the way down the lineup. I don't know if it means anything in October. I would just like them to score more than 3 runs in October, but we will get there when we get there.
The left, right, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say left, right, left. That's a fun game, by the way. Have you ever played the left, center, right?
Yeah.
That's a fun game. Yeah. No, but fun. To split the 2 lefties is huge. I think that's making a big difference in terms of what pitches they're seeing and what Mookie's going to see moving forward. So I know you said, what will it mean in October? We don't know, but heading towards October, I think it'll mean a lot of wins for the Dodgers.
Yeah, hope so. But it does make it so you can't just bring in somebody's great against lefties. And so that does make it feel a little bit better. But again, those 3 guys at the top, it really doesn't matter. You could go, if they were all left-handed, I wouldn't care. If they were all right-handed, I wouldn't care. But they just need to hit. So it's those 3 guys, especially. Everywhere else in the lineup, I can kind of understand it. But here, it doesn't matter what way they bat. They're going to hit both guys no matter what. Yeah, but for the most part, also, the one other thing that I want to just get into from last night's game was about Landon Knack. The fact that he went 4 innings and got a 4-inning save and completely saved the bullpen once again. We've now seen this happen another time. So we have to give credit to Dave Roberts for when he does something well. That's another time that he's come out there and save the bullpen again. It was after the Kershaw start, and it was after Stone start, having Stone going into Landon Knack for 4. Your bullpen was overtaxed, and now they get a little bit of rest and some much needed rest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect reset, especially when you're in the middle of, I think it's 13 in a row or something like that. So they play 4, then they go straight to St. Louis. So falling on the sword is your boy there, Landon Knack, because again, he's going to be optioned immediately. Walker Buehler comes back. It is what it is. You maximize the use of that guy's roster spot, but you like the velo you also saw out of him in that relief outing. Could be all of a sudden pitching his way or showcasing his way into the role that I had. And again, I don't make these decisions, but I had like a prominent bullpen role earmarked for River Ryan, rest his soul. So all of a sudden, Landon Knack becoming a very I don't know if it's an important piece, but it could be a critical option for this team as a long reliever, as a bulk guy, maybe somebody who could pitch you 3 at the end of the game, can get you a big out in a big spot if he's able to amp it up to 97. That's something to really keep an eye on. I would rather have Landon Knack over somebody like was it Stone? Not Stone, Grove, Michael Grove. Yeah. That's where I'm at on Grove in the bullpen, but
sure. Or Robleski could be a guy that does that as well. So
I love Robo. That's what I would love to see. Robleski also in there, but Dave Roberts told us a couple days ago, or like a week or two ago, when the team was spiraling, he said to everybody, we're going to have the best guys possible on that roster, in the lineup, in the right spot. So I hope they mean that, and it's not just, oh, well, you know, you've done this. This is a legacy thing. You know, Kershaw better earn a start rather than just get a start and that sort of thing. But we know how Dave can be sometimes when it comes to
Yes, we do. Not forthcoming. All right, but we got to get out of here. Parker, take us away.
That's right. So, like you guys said, Landon Knack hands a gift over to Walker Buehler, who will pitch today. So now he has an actual bullpen to help him. So shout out to Knack for that. Dodgers, the party in the NL Central continues on as they face the Brewers again. So stay tuned. We'll be reacting again tomorrow, 9:30 to 9:55. Stay here for Travis and Sliwa, as I heard them having a lot of Dodgers talk before the show. So that's going to be an exciting one as well. Clint, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy your vacation. We'll have you on very soon. And of course, everyone, tune into if this is Dodgers territory at 12, correct?
Yeah, Dodgers territory at 12.
Boom. Tune in. You know you want to talk Dodgers and see more Dodgers talk.
Yes,
so thank you to Greg for the Blue Review. I'm Parker Bell, and thank you again, Clint, for being here. Thank you, LAX. We'll see you mañana.
Okay, bye.